One day I went to go get a plate for lunch and I found hard, dry pizza crust sauce on it, and I was so mad. So I learned how to wash the dishes. Today I will be showing you how to properly wash the dishes. If you wash the dishes for your parents will have a dream come true. One of the things I always help around the house with is washing the dishes. To wash the dishes, you have to prepare, wash, rinse, and dry. I hope you will learn something from this speech. If you wash the dishes without being told, you will definitely get a bunch of brownie points from your parents. Step 1. To prepare to wash the dishes, you need to first clean the sink. And you can clean the sink by squirting water on both sides of the sink. Then, you need to plug the sink. After you have plugged the sink, you need to separate your dishes into silverware, cups, small dishes, and big dishes. Then you need to run hot water in the sink and pour dish soap in there while the water is running. Then you need to let that run. And while you are letting that run, you can go ahead and start putting the silverware in, along with a couple of the cups. Then you need to prepare by getting a drying mat out and getting your washcloth and all your other washing supplies. Then you can start washing, which is step 2. First, you can start with some cups. You need to fill the cup with water, then take your sponge and clean the inside of the cups. Make sure you get all around the cup, so the sides of it and the bottom of it. And also make sure you get where the mouth goes, because that would be disgusting if you used a cup without cleaning the mouthpiece. After you wash the cups, you need to then wash the silverware. So you got to make sure to clean well where you pick up the food and where you put your mouth. So that would also be disgusting if you use silverware that wasn't clean that someone else used, especially if they weren't in your family. Something to note, always put your knife on the top so when you reach in, you don't cut yourself. After you have washed all the silverware and most of the cups, you need to put the rest of the cups and some of the small dishes in the sink to soak while you're drying. Then you need to go over here and start rinsing the silverware and most of the cups. You need to make sure all the soap is off of them before you put them on the drying rack so the drying rack doesn't get soap all over. When you're almost finished rinsing the cups and you have all the soap off of them, you need to go ahead and start washing the small dishes. With the small dishes, you have to make sure that all the food leftovers are out of the dish and that there are no sticky or dry spots that will be difficult to get. After you have finished washing all the small dishes, you need to make sure all the soap is off, and it's really good to use hot water because it dries faster. And make sure you let your dishes drain before you put them on the drying rack so that water doesn't soak up the drying rack for all the other dishes you are going to use it for. When you are all done rinsing the small dishes, you can put the big dishes in the sink to soak. So all the crusty stuff and old food will be able to come off easier. And if you have a lot of dishes to wash, it is also a great tip to put another drying mat out or towel so you can have enough space so you won't have to cram all your dishes into one. After you have washed all the big dishes, you can rinse it with hot water, don't forget that, and put them on the other drying rack. Make sure you let the water drain off the dishes before you put them on the drying rack so that you don't have a big puddle of water under your drying rack when you dry the dishes and put them up. It is also a great idea to wring out your washcloth and wipe down the countertop. After you are finished washing all the dishes, step 3 is drying. So you need to get a towel and then you need to start drying all the dishes, starting with the silverware. you gotta make sure that all the water is off of the silverware so that bacteria doesn't build up and you get moldy green stuff with your food. Again, make sure you dry all the dishes completely so that bacteria doesn't build up in them. Then put them away. In conclusion, make sure you drain the sink and then you can clean it out. To wash dishes, you have to prepare, then wash, rinse, and last but not least, dry. This is a demonstration on how to properly wash the dishes. I promise you, if you wash the dishes for your parents, they will have the best day of their life. I hope you will take my advice and go wash the dishes.